She said she almost threw up when she watched the show.
And she only watched the first one, the spy one. That's the only one she watched.
30 seconds into the first episode. And he pulls his pants down and he just it all over.
Yeah, I thought they were going to cut away, but they didn't cut away. It just went all the way to his ankles.
I was sitting there trying to like press pause on the TV. Like, no.
So, Elmo, I mean, there's a place for you in my administration. If you'd like to come on board, I could offer you some sort of internship or a job. Are you interested in working for Doge, Elmo?
As long as it pays some money, that's fine. They ripped my Elmo's World right out from under me.
Navigating through the chaos of these modern days. Lost in the radio.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Radio Labyrinth.
Rest in peace, Morris. Morris the alligator dead. I think he was in the 80s, right? Now he's with Chubbs in heaven.
Yep.
Well, I am very happy that they were able to shoot Happy Gilmore 2 before Morris the alligator died. Rest in peace, Morris the alligator. Right?
Yes, rest in peace. Absolutely.
Thank you, Lizzie. No one else seems to care, but Lizzie cares.
I'll say it when the shoes I had made from his hide show up.
That's not funny. That's not funny. I thought you were a vegan and you were in protecting animals, Jeff. We have a guest coming up later in the show. His name is Shawn McBee, and he's a comic book writer or artist, Jeff?
Artist and writer.
Right, and he has a new comic coming out. What is it called? WESTRON.
Yeah.
Let's see. Lots going on in the news. The president got a free plane. That's pretty cool, huh? Great big plane from the beautiful country of Qatar or Qatar or however you say it. It begins with a Q. It throws me off. But then, it's a big plane. And what is it in his defense? What's that line in Back to School?
I don't think that selling admission to an obviously unqualified student is very ethical or honorable.
All right, Phil. But I'd just like to say, in all fairness to Mr. Mellon here, it was a really big check.
Well, in his defense, it was a big check. Yeah, but who does he say it to? What was that snooty guy's name, Jeff? You remember, don't you?
Yeah, the boyfriend of the English teacher that he was dating.
The economics professor.
Yeah, I can't remember what his name was.
Yeah. The guy who played Arthur Dent in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the PBS show, or the BBC show that ended up being on PBS. Well, there's other news. Star Search is returning. I mean, we'll get to our news, but these are just some items. Star Search is returning live on Netflix, so that's good, I guess. But Netflix is really upping their live broadcasting game. And we are going to talk. Okay, we got to just talk about it. Speaking of Netflix, did everybody watch? I've only watched 4 episodes. I'm sure everybody binged it all.
Nah, I'm the only one that binged it all. Dustin only watched 4 also.
Yeah. I only got about 35 seconds.
You can watch the show. What's the name of the show again? I've already forgotten.
Bad Thoughts.
Bad Thoughts.
Bad Thoughts. It's Tom Segura's new show on Netflix. And Jeff, I think you described it perfectly when you said it was a mashup of I Think You Should Leave, which is on Netflix, and Black Mirror, which is also on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
But it is brilliant. And, for all the... He did so many great stand-up specials to the last couple. And, everybody kind of got tired of the podcast thing, although they still have tons of fans and viewers and stuff.
Did you see where they made fun of the podcast on the one episode?
Which one? Because I've only watched 4.
Yeah, you might not have watched it enough, but somebody goes, "Oh, I really love the podcast," and then they're like, "Okay, cool," and he's like, "Oh, wait, I mean the one with your wife, not the other one. The other one sucks."
No, I haven't gotten that far yet, but we were texting about it with each other, I guess, last night, and I hadn't yet seen the episode with the twins, and I'm not going to spoil it. Dustin said, "Oh, the twins, oh my God," and I had no idea because I hadn't seen it yet. And so, yeah, it was just fucking great. I'm sorry, you got to bleep that, right. but it's one of the funniest shows. It's stylish, and it's a little more polished than I Think You Should Leave. And I Think You Should Leave is really bizarre and absurdist, and that's what I love about it the most. But this show is great. I didn't want to go to bed last night. I just had to, I was tired. But good job.
I turned it on while I was texting you guys, and my son Alistair was still milling around the house. Text, can can I watch this while Al's, he's not watching it, but while Al's around, and as I'm watching the first scene, you guys are like, absolutely not. No. So I did only get to see 35 seconds of it, but what I saw was hilarious.
What part did you turn it off? I think you said something.
After he pooped his pants.
Oh, yeah.
He's like reaching for his phone.
Yeah,
like turd on his hand.
And Shay was really funny in that.
Yeah.
All the guest stars are great. So I check it out. And then the Garth Brooks thing, which isn't Garth Brooks, but that whole country artist kidnapping his fans so he can be inspired again. Fantastic.
Did you like seeing AJ in the Bad Thoughts?
Oh, yeah, that's one thing I wanted. It was his first credited role on IMDb since 2009, right? Or was it even, no. Yeah, 2009, because he was on an episode of Law & Order and then did nothing after that.
But I bet when Tom was making this was about the time that they joined the Tom's network. Yeah. So Tom was like, you want in on our studio? You can be in my movie or be in my TV show.
I thought he was great.
Yeah.
He kept it low key, and that was also an insane.
He keeps popping up, but through several episodes.
Yeah.
But I don't understand what happened. All right, we have to talk about this a little bit. So they're in an office together, and he screws him over. Was it virtual reality the whole time? What happened?
No.
He went on. He like quit that job and started a video game.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, he just used that guy in the video game as his victim.
Yeah.
For everything else. He goes, how'd you do it? I made him shit between my legs. Which is an old YMH joke. There's lots of Easter eggs from the podcast in there.
But if you're not a fan, though, you can still laugh.
Yeah, you can still it's still funny, but it's got another layer to it if you're also a fan of their podcast.
Good job, Segura. I know you're watching. You pay attention to everything that we do. Breaking news, Max is now HBO Max again, which they should have never changed to begin with, but HBO is back into the branding mix.
Yeah, was it a regime change or something?
The whole Max thing didn't work, and everybody was like, well, what happened to the HBO part? The HBO was the prestigious part.
Yes.
I always still called it HBO.
Because people watch HBO. They're the home of the one would say maybe the creators of that cinematic style of television, prestige television. I mean, it was around before The Sopranos, but they're the ones.
Yeah, Arliss.
Yeah, you like the Arliss, Paul? Ever give him one of these? Hey, you got any gum?
I love it. When this big hulking man walks up, big guy, looks me right in the eye, and he gives me one of these. He goes, you got any gum? You got any gum?
I love it when those come up in my Norm Macdonald algorithm, which it permeates everything that I have.
Yeah, you think Norm will go on this new star search?
Probably, I think so. And of course, we're going to talk about Diddy a little bit. But have you guys? I'm sure you have, if you're on social media, the baby AI videos.
The older you do get, the more rules are going to try to get you to follow. You just got to keep living, man. Livin.
He's laying down under a tree in the middle of Africa. He's so big. He's so hot.
All I have in this world is my balls and my word, and I don't break them for no one. Do you understand?
It doesn't matter who we are. What matters is our plan.
I just swipe past them unless it's a Theo Vaughn one. Those are funny.
Those are fun.
Those are funny. It looks exactly like a baby Theo Vaughn, like the way they scrunch his head when he talks.
The first one I ever saw was, I think, the first one, which was the baby interviewing the dog. Mm-hmm. And not knowing that what a dog was. It was just a person. And they're talking about, I'm going to eat this stuff out of your diaper. That was the first one. That was really clever. And the people that are making them, they do good jobs, but they're just taking old movies and making them look like babies. The Monty Python one from the Holy Grail was also really good. They're really cool looking, but now there's a million of them, and it's like everybody starts doing it. Yeah, it's strange. I did AI this week on Trambles, this past week on Trambles, which is the audio only thing I do once a week.
Unsubscribe.
Yeah, I know Jeff hated it, but I don't care. I did it. I do it for myself. But I narrated all of it and then just changed the voice. And it's the America Right Now Today. I don't remember the name of it, podcast. And her name is Me with 6 E's. So.
It was good. I couldn't tell if you were pushing the Philadelphia or Pennsylvania accent, but it was definitely coming through.
Well, this is what it sounded like. Hey guys, what's going on? I am here, and then I just tweaked it with the AI. So check it out. Let me know what you think. Okay, but yeah, the Theo Von ones are good. The first Rogan one I liked, but they're doing it with everything now. And now
Step Brothers scenes.
Yes,
yeah.
I'm like Jeff now. Swipe.
I've seen a couple from The Office that have been pretty cute too.
Yeah,
Sopranos.
Oh yeah, the one with
the baby Sopranos ones are good.
Yeah,
I like the ones with shampoo. What the fuck was that for?
I'll make you a list.
All right, let's get to news and stuff.
Here's some stories that we've been following at the Radio Labyrinth news desk.
Fallout Season 2 is wrapped, and they've already been greenlit for a Season 3, so look for that sooner than later this year. It was supposed to come out really late this year, but it's going to come out sooner than that. So that is exciting for all of you Fallout and Walton Goggins fans. That's my first news story.
That is exciting.
Yeah, we loved the first season.
Yeah, it's great.
Father Guido Sarducci has appeared in public for the first time in 15 years on The Late Show.
Where's he been?
Stephen Colbert. I don't know. He didn't say where he's been.
And he came out in the regalia and everything?
Yep.
But he's still the gossip columnist for the Vatican.
The Vatican newsletter.
Yeah.
And he predicted that Pope that quit was going to be the new Pope.
Uh-huh.
And Colbert was like, he's dead. He's like, yeah, that's just what you think.
Conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Elvis.
You remember how much you loved him when you first saw him? I remember seeing him on SNL and thinking he was the funniest thing on earth.
Yeah. He's a hilarious dude. Those books he writes, the Laszlo books.
Laszlo Toth books. Those you got
you
me.
You don't really see him outside of that.
Well, he's in Godfather 3.
Yeah. Yeah, he was.
And he's been in a couple of other things, but mostly noted for that. Dustin?
The fake Elmo.
Fake Elmo being laid up.
Yeah, that was popping up on LinkedIn. I think that was a joke that no one intended to be as popular as it got.
What is it? I haven't heard of it.
Oh no, even Elmo needs work too.
That's a good Elmo.
Yeah, with Elmo, with all of them looking for backers still to
because the government cut funding to PBS. So it's like, remember when Big Bird said he was leaving Sesame Street because of Mitt Romney? This was kind of like that.
He said he was laid off.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So he's looking for a job.
He's excited about the future, this next opportunity.
Yeah, and it had a bio on him, just everything that you'd be looking for work on LinkedIn.
Well, Elmo, let me tell you, now that I have you right here, I gotta say, Elmo, look, you don't blame it on the government. You were bought by HBO Max, and HBO Max, first thing they did was cut all the old episodes. Okay, people like to watch the old episodes of Sesame Street before all the people with mental issues started showing up as Muppets. Okay, like the adopted girl and the girl, all the crazy girls. So, Elmo, I mean, there's a place for you in my administration if you'd like to come on board. I could offer you some sort of internship or a job. Are you interested in working for Doge, Elmo?
As long as it pays some money, that's fine. They ripped my Elmo's World right out from under me.
That song that you wrote, Elmo's World, la 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 la, that's a fantastic song.
Elmo's World.
He loved it, Baron did, and so you can come work for me. Your Uncle Telly can come work for me. I like Telly; he's a good guy. All the Muppets, bring them all to the White House. They can do a lot, okay? And give me a call. Thank you, Elmo.
Thank you, Mr. President.
You're welcome.
Sylvester Stallone and Richard Gere almost brawled over Princess Diana at the Elton John party, says the new book. I don't believe it at all, though.
So whose book is it?
Well, I didn't really read the article.
I don't know, because at first I thought it was somebody else's, and then they were talking about it was Elton John's book. But I think Elton John has the same story in a different book.
Yeah, because
right?
I've heard that story before.
Oh, I've never heard that. Stallone and Richard Gere were in a corridor squaring up to fight each other, about to settle their differences over Diana by having a fist fight. And this, I guess it's Elton John's book, as quoted by the outlet. Why would they fight over her, though? Now I got to look because I wasn't paying attention.
Stallone went to the party specifically because Diana was going and he wanted to hit on her. But when he got there, she was all over Richard Gere, I guess. And
Richard Gere had her cozied up by the fireplace.
Didn't she know he put a gerbil in his ass?
Did you guys see all the hubbub down at Georgia State Stadium?
No, what happened?
They are filming the new Madden movie.
Oh, are they filming it there? I saw holy crap, Christian Bale looks just like him.
Yeah, Christian Bale and Nick Cage as Madden, and he actually kind of looks like Madden in the fat suit.
Acting.
I wonder how the voice is going to be, though, because they should have had Frank Caliendo just dub all the lines.
Yeah.
So they shut it down. What were they doing down there?
No, they're filming there all week. They've just got so many extras, and they're using like a small group compressed together, and then they're multiplying them for the entire stand. So they were just doing all the stadium scenes and sideline scenes this week.
I wonder who's going to play Pat Summerall.
I don't know.
Thanks, John. What did he play on the Giants? Was he a kicker, Jeff?
Pat Summerall?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
You still have that jersey?
No, I never had a Pat Summerall. I had Kathy Lee's husband's jersey.
Frank Gifford's jersey.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I should have mentioned that at the top that Tom Segura's mom hated the Bad Thoughts. She said it's an insult to humanity.
Oh, that wasn't really his dad playing his dad in that
No, I don't think so.
When I first saw him, I thought he was the piss on a spark plug guy from War Games.
Yeah, I thought that too.
No,
but it wasn't him.
It wasn't. Yeah.
That guy's last credit was Better Call Saul. Remember, he wouldn't leave the house.
Oh yeah, the guy with the mailbox that they switch numbers on. Yeah,
that bit that he does about his mom and the edibles.
Yeah,
Tom Segura like has me rolling every time I listen to it.
You ought to watch the video of them on the porch when she's just
I haven't seen
completely
it.
baked. Yeah, it's hilarious. She thinks she's dying. And he's just laughing in her face the whole time.
She said she almost threw up when she watched the show.
And she only watched the first one, the spy one. That's the only one she watched.
30 seconds into the first episode. Yep. And he pulls his pants down and he just gets shit all over.
Yeah, I thought they were going to cut away, but they didn't cut away. It just went all the way to his ankles.
I was sitting there trying to like press pause on the TV. Like, no.
Mommy, what's that? Does Bert make an appearance in any of the episodes?
I didn't see Bert anywhere.
No, not that I saw at all.
He made a wise choice there.
Yeah. Now this is what he filmed this probably almost 2 years ago now. It's been in post-production forever.
Wow. Now I remember him talking about stuff like that. Maybe that was originally he was just going to do it himself and put it on YouTube. But I'm curious to see what the Segura haters say about it. See, Bob Odenkirk, there's the trailer's out for Nobody 2, and it
looks great.
And I'm happy to see that this movie that died in theaters and became sort of a classic on streaming during the pandemic. Now I think people will go to the theaters and see it.
I've never seen it.
You never seen Nobody? I'll watch it. It's great.
Yeah. It is good.
But don't watch it with any kids.
Okay.
What are your guys' thoughts on the whole SNL in the UK thing?
Flop. They tried it before. It's not going to work. I mean, if they could
depends on who they cast and how the writing is. I'll give it a chance. Unless it's on at like 3:30 a.m.
Well, I don't know. I think SNL's like a once in a lifetime kind of thing that worked.
Okay, but if they have good British humor and good writing on it, I'll watch it.
But they should have done it 25 years ago.
Yeah.
And spread it out, have an Australian one, just, franchise it across the world. It could have worked. I mean, it's a very simple formula.
A North Korean one. Every week, the host is Kim Jong-un. Right.
Yeah, they're making a Chevy Chase documentary for CNN.
CNN?
Yeah. They do a good job on those documentaries.
And they said they were going to sell it to HBO or give it to HBO after that. Something like that.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, they're the same company, so that's good.
Chevy Chase says, well, I hope I'm in it.
All right. We are reaching critical mass with the Diddy news. You know, Kanye going to put out another song about Hitler so he can catch up with the Diddy coverage.
This guy, he's so maniacal and diabolical that he's got a whole ass RICO case against him, you know, and he's also got his own supervillain name, which is the Diddler.
The Diddler. So this is only day 3 of the trial. Right now, they've put on one of the escorts, the security guard that worked at the hotel. They put him on, you know, the video of her getting hit at the hotel. And now they've got Cassie on. I just read today that he offered her $32 million as a settlement in 2023, something like that.
No, she wrote a book about it, and she was like, "I will sell you the rights to this book for $30 million." And he was like, he was like, no.
All right.
So, I mean, the case isn't Cassie against Diddler, even though it seems like that right now. But, you know, she's up there. She's 8 months pregnant right now. And she's up there testifying about all the horrible, terrible things. Yesterday, it was more like the freak off stuff, like what happened in there, what that consisted of, which was gross.
Right.
You know, his kids are there too.
Who, Diddy's?
Yeah. And two of his daughters walked out, and I'm sure, I mean, do you guys want some gross details or no?
Yes, sure.
Okay. I'm sure. I'm not sure, but like if I were them, I would have definitely walked out at this point when they talked about how, you know, he, with the freak offs, they would hire escorts. He would watch from a corner and do his thing, sometimes get involved, but, kind of direct them in what they were doing. But the men would always finish on her, and then they would go into another room and she would rub the finished stuff on his nipples and massage him with it.
Where's the gross part?
Yeah, that's what are you talking about? Gross.
And then he loved freak off so much, he was like, and this is where the blackmailing is starting to come up with her anyway. And she's only the first witness. This is only the first victim. It's only the 3rd day, but you know, he liked him so much. He was like, if you say no to these, like, I will release the video of you choking on Philip's urine.
I see.
Yeah.
How do you choke on urine? You just swallow it.
He was supposed to do a golden shower, and like I guess he had to pee really bad, so he just like unleashed. But anyway,
all this stuff is gross and sensationalist and everything, but are they really going to convict him of anything, do you think?
I think they are. I think what they're doing right now is they're setting it up to show like what a vile, aggressive, because she was beaten, she was abused, she was bruised, she was infected, she, you know, like all these things. Like they say sometimes it would last 10 hours and sometimes it would last 4 days. So what I think they're doing is they're setting him up to say, hey, yes, he was a controlling, abusive, manipulative piece of crap. And then they're going to really tee it off for a home run when it comes to the RICO charges. Because today they already started like name dropping. Like they've mentioned like dozens of more escorts. They've mentioned who was around when she was getting beaten. You know, so they're starting to name drop. So it's starting to kind of come together where it's just not seeming like it's Cassie against Diddy. And then tomorrow she's cross-examined. So I think what they're going to do is they're going to try to make her look like a deviant piece of crap. But there's no doubt in my mind that this woman is a classic case of absolute abuse and aggression.
Stockholm.
But that's not what's on trial. What's on trial is sex trafficking and
right,
racketeering
and sexual deviance is, you know, at least up to this point is still, you know, a freedom that you can have.
Right. Yeah.
Not if Mike Lee has anything.
I think what she's saying is she didn't want to do it. Like at first she was doing it because she wanted to please him, and she was super young too. So she wanted to please him, and then it got more controlling and aggressive, and like she wouldn't want to do it, and he would pull her out. Like she was at her birthday party at a club, and like he pulled her out on her birthday and made her do like, you know, 10 hours worth of this disgusting crap she didn't want to do.
We're going on almost 24, 23 years ago when Dave Chappelle did Diddy on the Chappelle show, where he said, y'all got to walk uptown to the Bronx and get breast milk from a Cambodian immigrant.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
That's good milk, or whatever he said.
Well, I don't know if you guys know who Jaguar Wright is.
Yeah.
No.
She's a singer, R&B singer. She did like Hard Knock Life with Jay-Z and stuff. So she knows these guys, but she's been speaking out against this for several years now and telling us like, this is what he does. This is what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Like they need to be brought to justice. So she was there at the courthouse steps.
And she's been MIA for the last 6-8 months.
Well, she goes into hiding, she says, to protect herself.
Yeah.
Now she's being sued by Brian McKnight.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Return of the Mac. All right. Well, we will do another update next week.
Yay.
Radio Labyrinth is brought to you by two wonderful sponsors. The first one, Atlanta Pizza in Euro, proudly serving the East Metro Atlanta area for over 40 years. Atlanta Pizza in Euro is the place to be this spring and summer. The restaurant and the food truck are in full swing for the season. Their featured beer of the month is Uno Mas Mexican-style lager from Firemaker Brewing, and they have all sorts of other good beers you can try. Plus, the food is amazing. They have great pizza. They have great Italian food. They have great Greek fare. And the staff is really nice. They closed all the things that we used to talk about, so you don't have to worry about that. They have amazing artwork on the wall, including drawings from a lot of our listeners and yours truly. And they got the best gyros, pizzas, hot subs, and Greek and Italian specialties around. Stop by Monday through Friday, 11 to 9 p.m., Saturdays, 12 to 9 p.m. and closed on Sundays. Tuesday nights, they have team trivia from 7 to 8:30. Bring your smartest friends and test your trivia knowledge against the best Conyers has to offer. Also brought to you by LDI Repro Printing of Athens, Georgia. If you have a commercial or residential construction printing need, contact them right away. LDI Repro Printing has been in Athens since 2005, and that's 20 years. That's amazing. With fast turnaround and affordable prices. Call Brett and tell him we said that you did to call them. Call Brett and tell him you heard it on Radio Labyrinth. Call 706-316-9366 or email them at athens@ldiline.com.
Guys, are you reading the online comments?
Gotta read some of these comments.
I'm loving your guys' comments.
You're reading your own comments?
Yeah, they're really good. I worked hard on them.
The secret is don't read the comment card.
We had two polls last week. The first one is The Last of Us still worth watching? Let's see. Ooh, this was a good one. At 8%, stopped after season 1. At 17%, yes, still great. At 25%, it fell off. And at 50%, never watched it.
That's still a good show. I like the crazy zombies.
Last week's episode was really good.
Yeah.
It was really good. I was like, yes, when's the next one coming out? Whereas the episode before that, I didn't like it. But
next week's going to be a flashback.
Well,
that's going to be sad.
We can do a little bit of a recap next week if you want to. The second poll, are prank phone calls still funny? Well, to me they are. Let's see. 6% said they're illegal, bro. 19% said always. And there was a tie at 38%, only in the 90s, and bring back the Jerky Boys. So I think overwhelmingly people think that they are funny. And on tonight's, well, we're live, not for you, but we're live after we record this for the Patreons. It's Radios in the Dark Live, and we're going to be talking about some of the prank phone calls that we've made when we started doing it and some of our favorites over the years. It'll be fun. Our first YouTube comment this week comes from Roby, who said, Corwin has started pranking us, Corwin being his son. His latest one was on his police officer brother who called, and Corwin answered with 911, what is your emergency? My wife told me about it, and I was laughing so hard I had to pull over on the interstate to avoid having a wreck.
Start him young.
Yeah.
Right. And King Reno Band said, great show this week. Can't wait for Dirtier Work. It's way past overdue. Keep it canon. Yes, I have ordered it, so I can't wait to get it either.
This week on Text Impressions by Tim, we are going a little outside the box. We're going to go with Jason Statham.
What?
Jeff's got a little direction at the beginning.
I see that. If you let my daughter go now, that'll be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
Here's Lizzie's.
Well, hang on. This is good. Hello, my name is Jason with Innovative Carpet and Upholstery Cleaning. We are working in your area right now, and I would love to give you a quote on 2 to 3 rooms. We use the circulatory dry foam system. Move your furniture and leave your room better than we found it. We even do upholstery. Now that I've got your interest, I'm going to turn you over to the manager.
Okay, and here's mine, but same vein.
All right. You called me for a routine clean. But what I found under that ottoman, that wasn't dirt. That was a situation. I've extracted chewing gum from the 70s, a Capri Sun pouch full of thumbtacks, and what I can only describe as sentient yogurt. Your carpet's alive, mate. I'm not just cleaning it. I'm negotiating with it.
Those are funny. Thank you, guys.
Views.
Or.
Snooze.
Yeah, last week was Kona Must Go, which was the first episode in Spain. I watched that. It was very good. Poker Face, which I watched the first 3 of those. Very good. Good as always. And Bad Thoughts, which we already talked about.
Bad Thoughts.
This week is Duster, the new show on HBO Max. J.J. Abrams, Josh Holloway from Lost, set in 1972. Looks like really good.
Keith David's in it.
Yep. Greg Grunberg.
Cool. That looks good.
Grunberg's in everything JJ does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll watch it. He always
Duster,
makes
this
good
looks
content.
Cool.
Yeah.
Love, Death, and Robots comes back for season 4 this week. Excited for that.
Oh, yeah.
And Murderbot, which is based on a series of books. This one's starring Alexander Skarsgård. The pretty Skarsgård.
Looks great.
Yeah. I'm interested. I've never read any of the books or anything, but I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, it's funny. It's kind of like a dark comedy.
Yeah, I guess he's cracked his AI programming, and now he just wants to be left alone so he can watch shit on streaming.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a service or a protection robot that cracks his own code.
Cool.
Looks good. It's a views for me.
Let's do our staff picks. My staff pick this week is a very old movie. I think it came out in 1995 or maybe 96. More likely 95. Called The Jerky Boys, the movie with Kamal and Johnny Brennan. And for some reason, Alan Arkin was in it. I don't know why. How did I get in this movie? A couple of Sopranos characters are in this movie. It's a funny movie, not the greatest. But that's my staff pick. And
hey, I don't need to watch The Jerky Boys. Jerky.
Yes. Lizzie reminded me that there was one particular line. What is the line again? What are we going to do with all these cocks?
Or do you think these cocks are going to hold us?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
When they're trying to climb down the window to get away from the mob guys. But it is a funny watch, and we are going to be talking later in Radios in the Dark Live about our favorite prank phone calls and when we first started making them, and if we ever got in trouble. Which, if you followed me for a long time, you know I got arrested. So there you go. That's my staff pick. Oh, it's on YouTube, by the way, for free if you're a premium member.
So mine's The Princess Bride.
Mine's The Princess Bride.
I was wondering how you guys were going to pull this off.
You just did it. So, yeah, it's The Princess Bride. I watched it with my son. It's one of my favorite movies growing up, but I watched it with my son for the first time, and he's still we're still belly laughing at it. Like his favorite part is when she realizes when he says, "As you wish," and he rolls down the hill, and then she throws herself off the hill and rolls after it. Like I haven't heard him laugh that loud in a long time. So it's great. Like if you have kids, if you don't have kids, like watch that movie. It's still super funny.
Yeah, my real stat pick's Taron Killam on Fly on the Wall this week.
Oh,
I like when they have cast members on where they can talk SNL stories and stuff.
Yeah, inside
good
baseball.
interview. Yeah.
Yeah. My staff pick is known by everyone on this show, but I finally downloaded a new 4K copy of Night Patrol from Apple.
Where'd you
and
get
it
that?
looks pristine. It's on Apple. They've got it right now for $4.99. It's very cheap.
That's it?
Yeah.
I got to email myself. We'll never talk to anybody that was in it.
No,
I think we could get her probably still if we tried.
Yeah, she's
got a
back on the
comic book
circuit.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. I see her on social media now.
Ask her again, Jeff.
Funny.
Yeah, I'll
movie.
reach out to her again.
I mean, the movie's so outrageous. It's Pat Morita.
Yeah.
The Pat Morita section.
You pull on it and play with it and play with it and pull on it.
Or the guy that's Japanese but not really Japanese.
Yeah. Well, the fact they overdubbed Morita's voice.
Yeah, with a woman.
With a woman. Just blew him out. I was sitting there going, is that him doing the voice? It was like, no, they completely overdubbed it. But it's
I've
on
never
HBO.
watched it. I'm going to have to watch it.
Don't watch it with your son.
No. But it's basically the unknown comic. You remember him from the 70s? The guy, the comic who wore the paper bag over his head. He was always on the Gong Show. And
yeah.
His name is Murray something. What's his name, Jeff? Murray
Langston.
Murray Langston. And so this is basically that. It's a movie, kind of like a Saturday Night Live movie about a character, but it's about this guy, the unknown comic. But there's lots of legal troubles with it. Like a lot of his stuff is overdubbed because he backed out of the movie, and they had to like edit it together to make it work at the end. And it's weird mix up as far as the production of the movie, but the end result is classic. If you like
anything with Pat Morita in it, I'm in.
And you have Andrew Dice Clay in it.
Yeah, constantly following the.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hey, I do impressions. You want to hear my Johnny Carson? We got a great fucking show for you.
There he is.
Hey, everybody.
Hey,
Hey, Sean. Good to see you, man.
Glad to be back. How you guys doing?
Good.
All right. Tell us about the new comic book and where people can find all the information and what's going on.
All right. So the new comic, it's called WESTRON.
Look at that. That's cool.
And
ooh, it's shiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a couple of test prints, see if we want to go shiny or glossy. Glossy or matte. And I thought matte, but the colors pop better. Anyway,
great.
it's a detective horror supernatural deal. It's been described as Fox Mulder meets Sherlock Holmes. The most unique thing I think about it is that it's based in Polish folklore. So while it's supernatural, you're not dealing with vampires and werewolves and the normal kind of, Judeo-Christian demons and things like that. It's weird Polish stuff that you don't see on Supernatural or in other Western stuff.
I have a Polish behemoth band T-shirt on right now. I don't know if you know them.
It's Kismet. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of Polish and looking at everyone you have involved, it looks like you went around the world to collect this cast of people to build this.
Well, so this was actually created by MJ Jankowski, who is actually Polish, and he's not here today because he's in Germany, and it's super late there.
Yeah.
He came up with the initial concept, and then he brought me on board, and then we developed the whole thing together. Pretty much everybody else involved in this is in Argentina. It just so happened. We do have one more guy in the States, our story editor, David Anderson. Super, super on top of it guy. Like, if you need someone to find your blind spots and point out where things aren't making sense or where they can be used better in a narrative sense, that's your guy. Because when you're writing something like this, you get a little single-minded. You can focus in and just miss plot holes and things like that. So having a story editor, excellent.
Where did the idea come from, and how long did it take you to get it going and produce it?
We've been working on this for about a year and a half at this point. As I said, MJ came up with the original concept. MJ's sort of an idea machine. He just cranks out idea after idea after idea, but they weren't super organized. So we sat down together and we worked out how to make this into 7 individual story arcs, where each arc is its own case. And that's going to tell the whole story. And then every arc has a flashback in it as well that interweaves and ties into it. But then also over the course of the 7 arcs, we'll tell our main character, Jan Westron's entire backstory and sort of close the loop and end just before the beginning of this book.
I like that the name, what does it say up here? Fandom Limb?
Yeah, that's my production company.
Is that an homage to Phantom Limb from the Venture Brothers?
It's an homage to the idea of phantom limb syndrome.
Yeah.
But, fandom limb.
Fandom, yeah. It's a good play on words.
Yeah, it is a real thing. But no, that's great. Yeah, I'm just a huge fan of that show, so that's why I went there instead of thinking
it's an excellent show. But that wasn't the intention. Honestly, my initial idea was Fandom Menace, but turns out someone already had that, and I just stuck with the Phantom Fandom thing and played around with it, and that's what I came up with.
I think it's
cool. Tell everybody about the Kickstarter and what the levels are and what you need and all that stuff.
So you can get to our Kickstarter launches on June 1st, and you can get to it by going to inkedstudios.live/Westron. That'll take you to the pre-launch page where you can sign up for updates. We also, on our website, have an 8-page preview that you can download of this. Read the first 8 pages of the prologue that kicks off the whole storyline at westroncomic.com/preview. And then when we launch on June 1st, we're going to have some special treats for for our early backers that get a physical reward. We've got a cool little enamel pin that says you're one of the OG backers. And we have a faux leather foil stamped journal.
Oh, wow.
That everyone in the first 24 hours of the campaign will receive if they back a physical reward. And then the pin goes to the first 50.
In the homepage of the website, you got to check it out, even though it's not out yet. But go to the website now and sign up to get that preview like I just did, and check out this artwork. It's so cool. And it's just a couple things, and it's a teaser thing, and I'm sucked in. So it's really good. I love it.
All the links will be below. If you got
Our artists are Nicholas Nieto and Mateus De Vincenzo, and they're both incredible. One does the main storyline, one does the flashback storyline, and I love how well their art suits the subject material. And they've been wonderful to work with. I highly recommend them. Anyone that's looking for a comic artist for something dark and creepy, especially, those 2 guys are awesome. But you can't have them because I'm using them.
Okay. Well, we're not going to do anything either. WESTRON #1, a supernatural thriller. Go to the website. The link is right below, and it's also in the notes. WESTRONcomic.com and help kickstart this because it looks really cool. And especially if you're a fan of independent comics and things like that, it's imperative that you do this.
Yes.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah.
Are you going to try and get them out into any shops, or are you just going to go sending out the physical rewards to the Kickstarters?
We're taking it a step at a time at this point. I'll definitely have it in like my local comic shops,
right?
Because all the places here in Atlanta, they tend to have a little section for like local indie comics, which is great. Right now, what our focus is on is because we've already completely made the first issue,
right?
And it just needs to be printed and shipped. Our main goal is to try to work forward. So the money that this campaign brings in, anything beyond the printing costs of issue 1 will go to starting on the art for issue 2.
Cool.
Because we pay our artists up front, as any respectable comic creator should do.
Yes.
And we want to be able to not have our audience waiting months and months and months for the next issue. Yeah. We want to keep it going on a, if not monthly, at least predictable and reliable schedule.
I'll tell everybody where they can find you online and they can follow along and get
let's get the word out, because the one thing that I really fail at is social media. I spent years backing away from social media like Homer into the bushes, and
probably
and then I find myself,
I'm the same.
Yeah.
And then I find myself trying to get the word out about something. I'm like, oh no, what have I done?
I think that probably for me, I think that you can avoid all the trappings that are involved with social media. We won't elaborate, but there are trappings. I still think some of the meta products are the best way to get it out to a mass audience if you're plugging something.
Yeah, I started a Threads account for the comic.
There you go.
I don't think I've posted anything on it yet. We're working on it. I just need to get used to the idea of Mark Zuckerberg knowing everything about me.
Don't worry about it. I won't read it anyway. I'm a bunker.
Well, we'll make sure we post everything on our socials.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we'll get the ball rolling.
I appreciate it.
I've been sharing your updates in our Radio Shack, Radio Labyrinth listeners group.
Oh, excellent. I have not wanted to spam that group. I'm in the group. I haven't wanted to spam it with my stuff.
Go ahead.
Oh, feel free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome to plug whatever you want in there.
Yeah.
You guys rock.
Thank you for coming on, man. We appreciate it. And best of luck.
We'll watch for the
Happy
Kickstarter.
anytime.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, thanks to our guests. Make sure you check out westroncomic.com. That's where you're going to find all the information. We appreciate you coming on, and everybody go out and support it. I love it when you support our guests. Hey, Radio Labyrinth is brought to you by you. We love your Patreon patronage, and you can find out how to become a Patreon member by going to patreon.com/Tim Andrews, where there are several tiers, including the $25 a month producer, which keeps us going, keeps us doing the show every month. And the executive producer position gives you a credit. Hey, you're not on IMDb, but you're on my happy list. So, thank you to our $25 a month donors: John Allen, Matt Carter, Chris Chandler, Mike D, Jim Fortner, Terry Fuller, Roby Neely, Jeff Peterson, Tim Slayton, and Brian and Chelsea Smith. So thank you very much. Hey, just some plugs real quick. I do an audio-only show. It's about a half hour long usually in the Radio Labyrinth podcast feed. So wherever you get your audio podcasts, you can find it. It's called Trambles. I also do a radio show on WSB every Saturday night at 7 p.m. called the Tim Andrews Popcast, and that becomes a podcast a couple days later. My upcoming guests, my next guest is going to be Greg Warren, comedian Greg Warren, who has a new special dropping on the 16th on YouTube, and that is through Nateland Entertainment.
Yeah, he's funny.
He is funny. I interviewed him a couple years ago. I can't wait to talk to him again. I'll be talking to him next week. My show this week is Matt Malero, and we're going to be talking about Meat Kingdom. That's going to be dropping soon, and I'm on that. So there you go. Patreon.com/Tim Andrews. Hey, remember to leave a comment, share, subscribe, and all those important things that are very important to keep a podcast going. And until next week, please remember to
keep it canon.
Keep it canon.
Say all good things come to an end.
What's that got to do with this show?
Lost in the radio.